Our journey begins. It is day 63, August 2nd, 2024. And I'm just going to summarize what I worked on this morning. So I started out by writing out narrative 4. So I hadn't actually written narrative 4 yesterday. I just had done the scene sketching. But I'd gotten pretty far along with it. So this morning, I wrote out the narrative. And then here's an outline that ChatGPT put together. And I kind of kept it that way because maybe that is how you're going to end up telling the story, is you're going to say, but yeah, I guess since I haven't necessarily been getting into like the exact narrative structure in terms of like a back and forth conversation, I'm just going to keep it like this. But basically narrative 4 is the concept of what is the peak of the mountain that we should be looking for. And it sort of explains how that should be a continual process. And then if we had to guess, what would that possibly look like? And I gave ChatGPT my mind maps. It's just sometimes like an hour or 2 hours of information of time that I spent thinking that it can just put into a quick summary. So that one's ready to go, although yeah, I added this part this morning. I'll probably want to do that. And then I got into narrative 5. So I'd pretty much scene sketched this yesterday. So I spent a while creating the narrative. And since I was on a roll with ChatGPT last time, and also, so this narrative is supposed to be about evolving humanity's consciousness and nature, as well as the concept of like how to actually achieve the best possible future. And so I gave ChatGPT hours and hours worth of thinking that I had done on this topic and asked it to write a narrative, which it did. And it's quite long. And I'm going to have to go back through and fix everything, basically. But it's there. I feel like it didn't adequately explore the idea of like this isn't how I would have written it, but I think it's in a decent spot to be able to mold from here. And then tomorrow I'm going to get into several things. I'm probably going to get into the idea of the movement genesis, self-organization in the movement, and just keep rolling through these. And it's good. It's good. I feel like we're creating that initial material that we can then mold. And it is sort of exploring things. And I feel like I am getting somewhat familiar with this now. Now that I'm going back and reviewing it and writing it into something, it's like, yeah, that is a fairly simple concept. There's still a lot of complexity to everything, especially when you're at this level of humanity evolving. But I think a lot of this is a way bigger picture than most people think. Even some of the top thinkers that I think of, they seem to have holes in their methodology where they're like, oh, this one thing is the thing we need to be doing. It's like, I pretty much agree that like that one thing is an important thing to be doing, but the why behind it doesn't necessarily make sense. Whereas this is exactly the why. It's getting really deep into the why question. All right. Thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow.